greetings to the African people. This remains another beautiful edition of the conversation that comes away on Sandian's VIP magazine, VIP TV. This part of the world, of course, I'm talking about the Republic of the Gambia. And of course, to those in the eastern Nigeria, the Igbo speaking people who say, well, one maybe no man can get a man came back Nigeria, the people who say, guys, strengthen and protect the all of us. Those in Western Nigeria, Yoruba speaking people will say, Baonisha, Ututu Jumenta, Baonisha, Baonisha. Those in the northern part of the country will say, Sanu, 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 Yadua. Of course, we turn to East Africa, the Swahili speaking people, of course, they are in Tanzania, they are in Nairobi, Kenya. We see Nakupenda here, Jumbo, Jumbo, Abayako, Kumfutanya Zangu, to the Mendes, if we town, Syria, and of course, we say to you, Kawina, to the Aku speaking people who say, Unakushio. Here in the Gambia, we say to the Mandinkas, Abayani, so going to call it to our fans who support us, we say, you come back and you come back, and of course, to the Wolof speaking people who say, Nangadef, Nakabijik. We say Bukanala talk to the Fula, we say Medicajan, Masude, Nalagal. Of course, once you love us, we say to you, Miedima, Moja Moja. This is the conversation of today. I am in close conversation with not a guest, but a colleague. She is Mpress Badjie. Welcome to this platform today.
Thank you so much, Mikael, for having me.
It's a beautiful experience to be here today in the studio. After conducting multiple interviews outside of our studio, we are here at Sandian's VIP magazine, VIP TV. Like I normally tell you, if it is not on Sandian's, it's not on your favorite. We speak to you on what you call the value of culture. And we speak to the young lady here today. Tell us, who is Mpress Badjie, aka the Jola Tubabo?
Well, thank you so much once again, Mikael, for having me here. Well, Mpress is just an outgoing person. I'm just a normal person like any other person. And I can say I'm down to earth, friendly, humble as I defend myself. So I don't think there's nothing special about me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us something about your childhood when you were growing up. How was it like?
Well, I had a very lovely childhood, I must say. But like at the other aspect, I have a very sad part. Like growing up as an only child was something that was really hard for me. No sister, no brother, doctor. It was something like it was like a nightmare to me. But adapting to the system, having parents who were so caring and loving was some part I had not even midst of having siblings beside me. So it was, I can say I have a great childhood though.
Okay. During that time when you were growing up, of course, there must have been a very memorable experience you must have had. What was it? Can you still remember?
Yeah, the most memorable experience for me was when I was in grade 5. My dad had taken a second wife. That was something very, like, I was so joyful that I had another member of my family. It was something like, I thought like, she was like something, she was going to be my best friend, and yet she is my best friend. She could become a sister, a mother, a friend to me.
Strange to hear not too many children are going to say that when they say that daddy finds another wife. It won't be described as memorable, but the irony is that she says it was a memorable experience. It was a beautiful one. That's the voice of all Mpress Badjie of this country, the Gambia, and the family of this Sandian's VIP magazine. When I say a family, because everyone of Sandian's here is a family member of this establishment. So we are in close conversation with her tonight here on this platform, the conversation. I'll talk to you once more. You are multi-talented, involved in two more things at the same time. Where does that quest and zest, endless enthusiasm come from to be very, very enthusiastic in ensuring that you realize each of these multiple dreams?
Well, I can say like I was brought up to follow my dreams, and anything I have in mind that I want to do it, I always follow it to the last dot that I want to do it. Growing up as a child, I always wanted to be an accountant like my dad, but knowing fully well that I don't like writing, I don't like reading, so I decided to engage myself in so many things.
Okay.
When I was growing up, I was a footballer, I was an athlete.
Okay.
But after senior secondary school, I had to drop that because I thought it was not something I really wanted to do. I decided to involve myself into other activities like activism.
Okay.
So, like, across the line, I realized that I have a lot of potentials in me, but I was holding back because I was not much confidence on myself that I could do it. Because rather I was listening to the public, like the public, like opinion was having a great impact in my life. So I had to take my steps back and talk to my mom about it, and then she was like, you are confident and you know that you always have a mind of your own. If you think you can do this, just go for it. So instead of holding one thing, I decided to do so many things at the same time, which is fruitful for me at this moment.
That's a beautiful experience. That's the voice of Mpress Badjie of Sembian's VIP magazine, VIP TV. But of course, we did not have the opportunity to speak to those in Rwanda who say, Ajigwanda Napakunda Moise, Ajigwanda Napakunda Moise, especially to Lila Merembe of Rwanda that stays in Kampala, Uganda. We greet you. Salute to Charles Israel, the United Kingdom, the Champ family of Birmingham, United Kingdom. We say, huge salute to you too. Jamianta of Guinea Conakry base in Coventry, United Kingdom. We say, salute to each of you who support Sembian's VIP magazine, VIP TV. In the Republic of the Gambia, we speak to you, Memido here, as I call her. Back to you once more. Well, you hear from a very conservative Gambian environment where culture, morality is exhibited at its zenith. Where do Gambian get this from? The issue of a culture, morals, and something. Is this something that happened here down the line, or they just came about it and see that society have the cultivated habit of being very, very culture? Very, very culture, so to speak.
Well, I must say, Gambia, we have a very rich when it comes to heritage of our culture, because we have to, inherit.
Inherited.
We inherited it from our great grandfathers. So I can say Gambia is the luckiest country when it comes to culture, because you've got to grow yourself from different ethnic groups, get to learn a lot of cultures at the same time. So I can see that Gambia, when it comes to culture, we have the best cultures in the Gambia.
A Liberian is going to say the same, that when it comes to culture, Liberia has the best.
Okay.
Would you want to argue that?
Nigerians
are going to say that. The Igbos are going to say that.
Well, I can say that when it comes to culture, Gambia has the best culture.
So the old Ghanaian people will say, Apo man. I'm going to be greeting you one after the other, just in case I slightly remember that I have to speak to you. We'll say Ghanaian people, Apo man too. I met one of our followers all the way there in the upper Volta aspect of Ghana, region of the Ghana. We say, thank you so very much for your support. We are in conversation here with one of our members here. She is Mpress Badjie. Back to you once more. You recently, perhaps should I say 48 hours back, you held the pageant that was about culture. I think it was branded Miss Culture. And the Fula girl happens to serve as the winner in that very contest. Why was it branded Miss Culture?
Well, secondly, I was not the one who organized it. It was a colleague of mine, Empress by the name also, who came with the idea of this Miss Culture. But the main purpose of her branding this Miss Culture was like to educate people more about our culture, because she thought that like people were leaving their culture to inherit their Western culture. So she thought like educating young people at her age, bringing them together to get to build their capacity in other aspects will be a great thing for her.
That's a beautiful experience. And I come back to you once more. We speak about Gambia having one of the best cultures, if not the best. In the expose, they describe it as the luckiest nation with the best cultures, and so to speak. Let's come to the aspect of our dress code, because culture is a way of life of a group of people. Our sisters have deviated so hugely from the morals, the cultural moral that were taught years back. Our sisters are almost wearing mini skirt in the size of a captain band, so to speak. That is not taught to them by the parents. Do you think we are deviating? Our sisters are deviating. Even our young boys are putting the trousers under their how do you call that? All the way down their heels, and so to speak. Is it parts of the Gambian culture? Is it something that we are skipping from our roots, where we actually belong to?
Well, I'll first of all start it by me before going to any other person. I think like during our dress code, it does not have nothing to do actually with our culture, because like we are not dressing according to our culture. I think this mini skirt is just like the new millennium we are just inheriting, and that, but it has nothing to do with our culture. But I think like if we have to go and turn back the hands of time, we would really like to correct our mistakes when it comes to our dress code and stuff. but the generation we are.
Somebody's going to differ with you when you say that dress code has nothing to do with the culture, because in typical Gambian home, in the village in Tintinto, in Marakisa, in the Kiamandua, the girls there are not taught to dress almost half naked. It's associated with the culture that you have to be modest. Even when we have to draw in a little bit of religion, so to speak. Islam is going to teach you, the religion is going to teach you to be morally modest. So, not forgetting the culture of the Mandinkas, the Fulas, the Jola, so to speak. It teaches you how to be morally dressed at all times. So, when you say that the dress code has nothing to do with the culture, I beg to differ. Don't you want to believe that is an error?
Well, when I say the dress code has nothing to do with the culture, I'm not saying that how we address it is correct. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I know perfectly well that the new generation we are and how we address it's not related to our culture. It's not something we should adopt because it's the Western world's culture. But instead, you can see that the young people of nowadays have their own mind. You can only, like they say, you can only force the horse to the river, but you can force the horse to drink. So instead, our parents taught us how to dress modest. But we choose to dress this way because we think that is the new millennium and the new fashion in life. I will start by me. By then, when I was wearing jeans, I have to hide from my father and tie a wrapper when I go to my friend's house and wear what I want to wear and go. But as time goes on, my father beats me, did everything to make me stop that. But being a stubborn child, I will always wear and even jump over the face and go. But you will see, as time goes on, the parents have no other choice but to just let people be. We know we are not doing the right thing, but I think as time goes on, we will walk on the steps.
That's the voice of all Empress. That's the voice of Empress of Sembiance VIP Magazine, VIP TV. That remains Tony Michael Howard, a young person tasked with the responsibility of inspiring and motivating the current generation of young Africans in the actualization of their respective dreams and preaching a message of peace and national unity, as well as revitalizing the Africanization policy that speaks about good governance, social justice, democracy, human rights, and most importantly, the African unity. It's the conversation here with Empress Fatima Badjie. Do you think that, from your explanation, do you think that we need to do cultural filtration? Do you think we need to filter our culture and retrace our steps so that we'll kick out those rubbishes that are not needed within our closet as Africans, because we're strongly deviating from what we were taught growing up as a child, what our parents have taught us? Do you think we need to filter our system?
I think, on my own opinion, that a lot of educational value has to be done when it comes to our culture, because I think that some of us don't really know our culture, because like if we really do understand our cultures, then I don't think we should be emulating the Western world. So I think that is the right of the parent to educate their child when it comes to cultural aspect, because I don't think the child should know about her culture if she did not meet her parents practicing that same culture. She will only emulate the kind of culture she thinks is right for her. I think it's right for the parents to call her to order and try to tell her, look, this is not your culture, this is your culture. I think you go back and, I think you go back and make some research about your culture will help also, because I think young people of my age nowadays, we do not believe in our culture. We believe in our Western culture more, because you will say, even this last Miss Pageant that happened, you will see that especially the young people do not even know what exactly they are getting into. They believe like it's a way of like a new style, a new millennium, so they just go by anything they think is right for them.
So, Clever, that's a very brilliant one. If you would ask, what are the factors responsible for Africans' deviation from the originality of the culture? What would you say?
I would say, when it comes to that, I would say social media is part of it. Social media is part of it, and like emulating people from the Western world too is part of it.
How does social media influence or deviate Africans from the originality of their culture?
I will say by then, during those days, we don't have this internet, we don't have these televisions, we don't watch movies, especially from the outside. But you will say this millennium we are, people go to the internet, download all sorts of things. Even now, our Africans we turn it into European styles. Instead of wearing the whole attire that has to show your African culture. But yes, still you choose to transform it into another form because you think that is the right culture you should emulate. So I think like when we are talking about the ethic that spoil our culture. We have to counter social media because it is really doing more harm than good.
That's a brilliant one. That's a voice of mine. I don't want to say guest. My colleague here at Mpress, Fatima Badjie. She's called the Jola Tubabo. Let me come back to the very person right now. Why are you called the Jola Tubabo?
Thank you for that question because like people have been asking me this same question over and over again, but yet still I decided to keep it to myself. Okay, this Jola Tubabo came from my ex-boyfriend because he said I'm not a real Jola because he thinks that anytime I'm speaking the language, instead I will mix it with English or any other language. He thinks that real Jolas are not always confident to express themselves in the media or express themselves in any kind of form. He thinks that Jolas are the ones who works on in the homes, wash clothes and something like that. I made him understand.
Not stigmatization.
Yeah, he was trying to stigmatize me from that name, but I decided to adopt the name because I think that the name has something to reflect in my own life.
Okay.
So I took the name and personally made it mine because I would like to tell people that tribe doesn't matter. It does not matter what tribe you are from. What matters is the person you are. Your tribe never describes who you are. It's only your inner self that will tell who you really are. So I find it very offensive when he told me that word. So I decided to take it so personal that, okay, I must prove him wrong. And I'm glad I am proving him wrong on that aspect.
And that's a beautiful one, a very strong message she has sent here tonight. She says that a tribe does not really count, especially my best Gambian sentence I normally say, I say, what? Even though you're full of, you well of, let us kill the tribes for the nation to survive. Put aside tribal differences, put aside all the cultural differences and hold together for nation building, for national development. That's the best way forward. People are so personal, people are so attached to their tribe, they are so attached to their upbringing, their cultural backgrounds, and so to speak. Do you think it's the best way forward, or our diversity, our differences in culture, our differences in tribe should be used to properly utilize our energy, utilize our skills, our qualities and ability for the common good of the Gambia, by extension, the continent? What's your thoughts about the attachment of tribes?
Well, I think when it comes to our tribalism, it's very important, like having different tribes in the Gambia, because it enables you work with a lot of people and different background, different upbringings, to get to understand each and everyone's point of view. It also like make you to grow up in your inner selves, and especially when you go out, you will not even have that kind of problems, because like you will believe that you are from this country and this country have a different tribe, and you have got to entertain them, with different tribes. So I don't think it will be difficult when you go out to associate and coordinate with a lot of people then.
And that's a beautiful one. That's a beautiful one. She's doing justice to our questions here tonight. Like we say, it is a conversation that comes up with us. Sembiance VIP Magazine, VIP TV in the Republic of the Gambia. There are Liberian girls seated under the sound of your voice. People from Kampala, Uganda, like Lida Merembe. You have people from Guinea Conakry. There are multiple young people seated under the sound of your voice here today. Our females, what do you have to say to them when it comes to morals, when it comes to culture, when it comes to values?
Okay. To answer your question, I think we should take a step back and do some research on ourselves and elaborate more on knowing our culture. I'm not saying we should not emulate the Western culture, but I think charity begins at home. We should try to emulate more of our culture than the Western culture, because you will never go to the Western world and see them like emulating more of our like African culture than their own. They respect their own culture better than any other culture. So I think we should also respect our culture in order to let people know that we believe in ourselves and we are so proud of being Africans at large. We even fancy them, but like we should be proud of what we have, because we have the best cultures in the whole of Africa. So we should be proud to be Africans.
That's a beautiful, what you say is that Africa has the best culture globally. So it's a beautiful experience that we'll be able to respect our culture and retrace our steps. Wherever we've gone wrong, let's retrace our steps and understand that we have the best culture. It's better that we study that, we revisit that, we get back to those see that one of the sound of our voices here. This is Sembiance VIP Magazine, VIP TV in the Republic of the Gambia. It has been a nice experience with all my colleague here. She's Mpress Badjie. We spoke on the conversation. We talked about the value of culture. She just held what you call Miss Culture in this country. So it's very important that we go back to our respective homes and then retrace our steps where we've gone wrong, where we deviated from our culture, and retrace our steps and make it better. That's the best way forward. You know, nice experience. What's the final words to Africans outside here?
Well, I would say, like, talking about more of our culture, let us not forget about who we are and where we come from.
Okay.
Let us emulate our culture more than the Western culture. And it's high time so that the younger generation can pick up from where we stop.
Thank you very much. If you like, follow us. Bye-bye.
You can go.